Yeah, you already know what it is. Your boy Bands alongside Wendell B. Jordan. Yes, he is Michael B. Jordan's cousin.
What up, what up?
And we got Christina with us. Today we got a special guest. We always have a special guest, but this one's out of the ballpark.
It's a little extra special.
Yeah, a little extra. From my side of Providence.
What's your side of Providence?
South side.
All right. South side. In the house. Friendship.
Yeah, I lived on Francis Street. Shout out to the north too. I lived up there in the north side too. So
if y'all don't know that voice,
yeah,
I don't know what rock y'all been hiding under. Today we got Euro in the house.
Hey.
Yeah. Young Money on, huh?
Yeah, our very own too.
Appreciate y'all, man.
What's going on? How's everything? Welcome back.
Thank you.
To the city.
Yeah, welcome back.
When's the last time you was home?
I always dip in and out. I was back here on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I was on Thanksgiving, mostly the holidays.
Where do you stay now? What state?
Florida. I be in Florida mostly, yeah. Spend a lot of time. LA, Florida, and I always come back here, you know. Coming into this decade, it's gonna be mostly Providence, though. You know, gotta come back to the roots.
I like
that's hard. That's
I
hard.
like how that sounds.
Yeah. I know Florida's nice and all, but nothing beats the snow up
home,
here.
Man. You go around the world, you go different places. You know, it's all fun, but you know, you get homesick after a while.
Yeah.
You know, you miss it.
So, okay.
How homesick have you gotten?
Oh man, too homesick, man. Because usually when I travel, I'd be mostly by myself. You know, so it's cool for a while, but you know, you gotta come back here. This is where I find most of my inspiration and all that. So, you know, after a while, it's like, all right, I gotta go home. This keeps me rooted and grounded. You know what I'm saying? You get out there, you could get lost easily. You know what I'm saying? You start to get, you know, you get crazy.
Definitely hear that all over the
lose your
album
mind
too.
out there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. So let's start from the beginning. You said nothing was off limits.
Of course, not for you, Chris. Christina can ask me anything, man.
I'm gonna
you know you
start
good.
with a small anecdote. That's a story for all you hood boogers out there. You know, back in the day, we went to Adelaide, aka Dr. George Jorge Alvarez. I don't know why they changed that name, but yeah. You weren't always Euro, right? And you weren't always, how do I say this, out of your shell. You were quiet, awkward, to yourself,
shy,
very
still am shy,
very innocent, and
still am innocent. I like to believe.
I don't know. There's a couple of records on the album that don't say so, but I remember you telling me that you rap, and I was like, oh, word, you rap. And then you remember that conversation? And then you were telling me, yeah, I do Christian rap, and I was like, what?
That's a fact.
I had never heard of Christian rap before you said that.
That's a fact.
And I was like, wow, that's dope. And you were telling me a little bit about your family and like how strict your dad is and how religious he is. So tell us a little bit about that.
So growing up, I'm Dominican, and I grew up in my family. They church people. So my pops, well, when we first moved to the U.S. back in the 90s, he would so all my uncles, he always likes to tell me this. All my uncles, he uses the term, they would all go to Broad Street, and he would go downtown. So instead of just doing what everybody else was doing, he would always try to find a way to separate himself and try to find a better situation for us as a family. Because at the time, we was living at my grandmother's house on Friendship. And my pops just always, you know, he just always been, you know, he was in Dominican Republic, he was a little wilder. So as he grew, he became more spiritually conscious. And, you know, his family taught him things. So he became a real spiritual person. And, you know, I like to call him wise. So when he moved out here, he stumbled upon a church downtown called Glory Day Church, and we were still living in my grandmother's house, and he ended up just coming across this church. And mind you, he ain't speak no English, he ain't have nothing going on, but he met this guy who was the pastor there at the time, and really he was just looking for a church to bring his family to, us, and so this guy, he took it upon himself to help my pops out, because, you know, my pops had a resume at this time, you know. And what this guy did for my pops is, like, he you know, make the long story short, my pops ended up making it to Harvard. He studied
That's
theology
what's
at
up.
Harvard
That's what's
and
up.
things
man.
like that. And this is with no English. You know what I'm saying? So if to make it into Harvard is
It's brilliant.
crazy
Yeah.
itself. So he studied theology there. He became a pastor at this church. And what we would do he would always bring people from the neighborhoods we lived at. So there was, a whole bunch of little hood boogers from the south and, from the north. And we would flood the church and things like that. And what that did was bring a different element to the church, which was, the culture, you know what I'm saying? So we would do these things on Friday. It was kind of like a hangout, you know what I'm saying? So it was just a whole bunch of kids from different hoods, and we would hang out on Fridays at the church. And they started doing like these talent shows and things like that. So I was about like 6 or 7, and, I'll rap at these joints. And I just kept rapping and kept, performing every chance I got at the church for the homies, for all the guys and stuff like that. So I used to do that, and that's how everything kind of started. You know what I'm saying? Like I was used to be rapping at my pop's church, like for all the homies and stuff like that. That's how I became, and then things progressed. I used to battle on the block and things like that with the homies and all that, but most of the time I'll be in there performing for all the homies in the church and stuff like that, and for my parents. So I never curse because my pops is watching and my mom's and them. But the type of people they are, man, they're spiritual. I wouldn't call them as so religiously strict, because they really more spiritually conscious. You know what I'm saying? So when they see everything I got going on, and everything me and my peoples are doing, they just super supportive. It's not like but they just spiritually conscious people, and they always, instill that word for me since a young kid. So I'm always conscious of that in my music. That's what I started my project off with, To God the Glory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we're gonna get a gospel rap album from you?
Oh man, I'm a long way. I'm
gonna get a Jesus.
My
Jesus
pops might
King?
be happy for that if I do that, and my mom's and them, but maybe maybe I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that.
Now, do you remember any of your Christian rap?
Oh yeah. My first rap. Man,
Spit that 16 real quick.
My first rap. Oh man, if I say these lines, there's gonna be a few people that remember this, and they're gonna joke about this. But I think my first rap started with 1, 2, 3 from the beginning. Effort that's representing to the fullness with the double S. It started off like that, like, you know what I'm saying. It was, with the double S, Southside. It was some cool, I don't remember the rest of it, but I know I remember that piece. I always used to start with that line, but I don't remember too much of it, man. Shout out to Glory Day and everybody that went through there, man. Shout out to everybody. I know last year we just lost somebody that used to come and watch me perform in the church. He got shot, man. Rest in peace to Sean and the whole Lockwood family and all his peoples. So love to all those peoples, man. It brought back memories.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
But you also had baseball aspirations too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Went to college
Of
and
course.
started playing ball. What happened to that?
Yeah, man. I as a kid, following the footsteps. Like I said, I'm Dominican, so we play baseball naturally. So
Elmwood
I got
Little League? Elmwood Little League.
I played at Elmwood. Yeah, I played at Elmwood. I played at
I
Roger
think
Williams.
everybody did.
I played at Mount
played
Pleasant.
Zucolo.
Zucolo. Okay, I think I played basketball there a few times.
Right.
But I was following my brother's steps. My brother played baseball, and he was really super dedicated to it. And I was just trying to follow his steps. You know what I'm saying? Trying to find myself as a kid. You just kind of trying to find a way out, especially in the circumstances. In the environments, we trying to just find a way out. And baseball was like that was one of my loves. That was one of my dreams. I had 3 dreams when I was young. It was basketball, baseball, and rapping. And baseball, I used to, really wanted to be a baseball player. That was one of my biggest admirations.
What position?
Oh, middle infield.
Oh,
Yeah,
shortstop or second base right there.
Fun fact.
Little turn 2 over there.
Yeah.
Fun fact, my cousin's Archimedes Caminero, he played for the Pirates. He was a pitcher on that team. Then he got traded to Miami.
Okay.
Now he's playing overseas.
That's
Oh,
dope. That's dope. That's what's up.
So when did you first realize that you didn't want to continue the path into Christian rap? You just wanted to do mainstream. When did that happen?
It wasn't more so like that. 'Cause I wasn't like pursuing that. I wasn't trying to be a Christian rapper. The reason why I was rapping in church is because, you know, it was my folks, you know what I'm saying? And they, you know, that's what we was rapping at. You know, you can't just go talk crazy in church. So it wasn't more so I was trying to be a Christian rapper, because I was still rapping outside of church. And I was, you know, like I said, I used to be rapping in the neighborhoods and things like that. We was rapping everywhere else. But when we was in church, you know, we made sure to clean up our raps and, you know, make sure to not talk crazy. So it wasn't that I was just pursuing that. I was just rapping, period. But when I would rap in church, I would clean up my music and make sure, you know, moms don't trip out. You know, you better not curse. But it wasn't like I was trying to be a Christian rapper or anything like that. It was more so I was just, you know, I was rapping, period. And then when I would rap in church, I'll clean up, which helped me a lot in a lot of ways, because, you know, it's challenging to entertain without cursing and rap without cursing. You know, a lot of rappers feel like they gotta curse and to make a line or verse hot. But I used to really challenge myself and make music that connected with a different crowd, and I always kept it clean. And, you know what I'm saying, I would transition, I would adjust just for that crowd and things like that.
How'd your life change after you signed?
Oh man, 2013. When I met Wayne, my life changed drastically, man. It was like she said, I was shy. I was in a shell, you know what I'm saying? I was quiet. I never dropped music, you know what I'm saying? I never put out no mixtapes. I was never one of them dudes that was, you know, recording music. Tagging people on LinkedIn bio.
Buy my mixtape.
I was never one of them guys. I was used to write music and just, you know, I'd be very low key about it, and I would make my music and things like that. But my life changed drastically, because after that it was like, you know, the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? It's like I came out of the shadows, so to say, and, you know, I had to work on a lot of things, like, you know, sharing my life with other people and you know, being open more, and, you know, speaking to strangers like I know them or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I had to adjust, and it was just crazy. It all came super fast. You know what I'm saying? Wayne is one of the biggest artists in the world, and the whole Young Money camp, you know, they're huge. You know, that's a powerful imprint. And, you know, those who came before me, you know, they was just coming off of Drake and Nicki. So that kind of attention, it was crazy, especially coming from Providence. You know, everything changed. You know, that was like, I can't even explain it, to tell the truth, but everything just went from 0 to 100 after that.
How did you even meet him? How did that happen?
So my brother was, like I said, he was playing baseball, and he was in Miami at the time, and he was moving around a lot on the scene, and he was rubbing shoulders with a lot of these people in the industry. And I was in Alabama at the time playing baseball, Alabama State University, and I would always get a chance to go over a homie's crib, or I'll use the studio at that school, and I'll record some music and I'll send it to my brother. And what he would do was he'll show it around, and he'll just show it off to people. He'll get it in the right people's hands. For some reason, he'll just be showing off my music. And it got to the hands of Mac Main and Wayne, and I think they heard one verse, and like he just was blown away, and he gave me a call right away, and like the rest is history. He flew me out. By this time, I was already out of school. I wasn't doing too good in school, so I was back here in Providence, and I didn't know what I was gonna do with my life. You know, at that point, it was just either gonna go left, or I was just, you know, I don't know. But that call, he just gave me a call and flew me out. He heard the music, he got the music in his hands, because my brother was showing it around, and he loved it. He flew me out. I met him, and, you know, he don't really, he's more so of a, he got to get to know you before he, you know, he's a very closed off person. So we kicked it off. That's what it was. We linked up, and you know, he saw who I was. We spent a lot of time together, and then he was like, "All right, bet." You know, he's straight.
What was the first thing he told you? Like,
oh man, the first thing was actually we spoke about skateboarding, and cause.
You be skateboarding?
Nah. I actually, he put me on a skateboard, and I was trying to skateboard. I learned how to drop in from the big ramps.
It's not easy
from the vert.
either.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
It's dangerous, man. I tried it.
I ain't trying that. If I try, I'll be the guy in the videos that go viral.
Yeah, it's a dangerous game, man. And I tried it before.
Need to have your helmet.
The first,
Elbows.
like that, man. Listen, I seen so many people bust their ass on a skateboard and all that. But the first thing he mentioned when I seen him was, if you put your mind into anything, you could do it. Cause I remember the first thing I told him was like, damn, you really do skateboard. Like, damn, you Wayne. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Wayne we know from the 06s and the 07s, we would never think he'd be on a skateboard. You know what I'm saying? So that was literally the first thing he told me. He was like, yeah, listen, man, you put your mind to anything and you could go. You could do it. That's literally the first thing he told me.
How did you feel when you heard Lil Wayne on the phone? Because we all know Wayne is a legend, a living legend. We're lucky to still have him because a lot of our legends have passed.
Facts.
And just to see his career, because when you met him, it was 2013, his career had already kind of sizzled. You know what I mean? He was already set in stone. His legacy is already solidified, but he wasn't really making as much music as he was because he was putting out a lot of music.
Yeah.
What was it like? Did you even believe it was Wayne? Like, to hear his voice, that had to have been crazy.
Yeah, it was surreal. It was surreal. You know, you have these dreams and things like that, but like I always, for some reason, I always felt like I would, it sounds cliche, but I really believe I manifested all this. You know, I believe in manifestation. Like, I really used to think of myself like, because I was a fan of Drake at the time. So I used to like imagine myself like being in that situation, like, oh, Wayne and Young Money. I really like used to obsessively think about that. So like when he called me, it was almost like deja vu. It was like, oh, what? Like, this is really happening? Like, it hit me, and it was like a surreal moment. And none of that felt real. It felt like when you in the moment, you just numb. You know what I'm saying? I still, there's some things that still haven't hit me. Like, till this day, that's like, I'm just numb. I'm in the motions. All the people that I've met, and the love that I've gotten from people that I've grown up listening to or looking up to. You know what I'm saying? Like, people that I could say that know me and said cool things to me, and like came up to me somewhere and introduced themselves and said, yo, I know you. And I'm like, damn, for real? Like, it's still numb. Like, it still don't really hit me yet because I'm in the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? At some point, I'm going to react to it. But it's all a numbing experience. But it's a dope experience, though.
How long after that did you get to meet Drake?
Oh, man, I actually met Drake that same year. It was on tour. They had a tour. I think it was the America's Most Wanted tour, and Drake showed up to one of the shows in Buffalo. And I kind of jumped the gun. I had told somebody to introduce me to him, and like they took me off the bus. I was on Wayne's tour bus, and they brought me to Drake, and I was like, I was all excited. I'm like, yo, Jiz, what's up, man? Take a picture of this, and that. So then I go back to Wayne's bus, and then Drake comes over, and Wayne like does a formal introduction. Like I was like, damn, I was supposed to wait for this introduction. Like, maybe I jumped the gun, but I met Drake that same year, and he's one of the realest dudes I ever met in the rap game. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude's a humble legend. Like, he's one of the most humblest dudes I ever met.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a contradiction to what a lot of people be saying about him.
Yeah, he's 100% one of the most humblest, realest dudes I ever met. Like, period. Like, in my life. Straight up.
You can tell through your music because me and Christina driving over here. I was like, most of your album sounds like earlier Drake. Like the flow, sounds like early Drake, and it's like I was like, wait, who am I listening to?
Yeah.
It was
also you hear a little Jay-Z in there.
yeah, that's what.
that.
Yeah, you said that
I
too.
said the flow sounds like Drake, especially the July mixtape.
Mhm.
Sounds the flow is Drake. Not to be like not
Nah,
to say
Nah,
that
it's-
you're trying
it's-
to
it's cool.
duplicate, but
It's-
the tone, like the voice, the
Yeah,
sound of
just-
your voice sounds like
Yeah.
Jay-Z.
Those are I always say this. Those are my biggest influences: Jay, Wayne, and Drake. So it's gonna show. I mean, those are great people to stand, say that you sound like, what I'm saying. But those are my influences right there. You know what I'm saying? And my music, it comes out, but you can see the influences in the music. So those are the guys that I look up to musically. Jay-Z, Wayne, and Drake, those guys, it's just, what I'm saying, the way they flow, the art, what I'm saying. I learned a lot from those guys, listening to their music and things like that. I try to put my own vibe to it, what I'm saying, and tell my story how it comes out. But those are my influences right there.
The song
For
that
sure.
did it for me that I was like, yo, I hear the Jay-Z was Sweet Dreams.
Sweet
right?
Dreams.
Yeah.
That was on July.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, yep, I hear the Jay-Z. And I thought I was tripping, so
Yeah.
I played it a few times. Like,
Yeah, that's one of my
I went back
favorites.
to
right
the
there.
New York City. Like to
yeah.
me, it sounds like New York City.
Yeah, it's
Where
got
it
the
can-
sample in it, and it got
Yeah.
the same kind of.
I was like,
could see
Wow,
that.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you read-
I obsessed over finding out what song.
How long did it take you?
Hours.
No, this is what I
through
do.
the whole
Like,
Jay-Z catalog.
no, deadass. I go through like a wormhole. Like literally, if I
Every
find somebody
album, every track.
interesting, like for example, for a little bit, Stormzy dropped his album not too long ago,
Right.
and I was on a Stormzy tirade.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I need to find out.
studied
He was
them.
obsessed.
You know what I mean? It's just the fan in me of the music.
Yeah.
You know, so like I heard the influences of Reasonable Doubt on July.
Oh.
There's a lot of influence on that.
Yeah,
and
that's
I was
big.
like, because I mean, I'll show you on my phone. Still listening to the
Yeah.
Reasonable Doubt.
What's your
'cause
favorite
yeah.
Jay-Z album?
I'm gonna have to go.
You my boy forever if you say Black Album.
Oh man, I like the Black
Or-
album. I
or
like
if
the
you
Black
You
album.
can say Blueprint too.
I like the
Blueprint.
Black. I like
also,
the first Blueprint.
yeah,
I like the first
Blueprint
Blueprint.
also, not Blueprint 2.
I like the first Blueprint. I like Volume 1. It's hard, but Reasonable Doubt, I would have to say is one of my favorites because that's like his first. You know what I'm saying? And that's
It's
like the
aging
most.
well.
Yeah, and it ages so well. And it's one of those albums that wasn't received right away, and later on people caught on. And those are I like those because it's like I feel like those are well thought out. And when music ages well, that means that it's real. Only the real things are gonna last. You know what I'm saying? So
that's like Watch the Throne. That's
Yeah.
Watch the Throne aged very well. If you
Oh,
listen
yeah,
to
facts.
it now, it
Facts.
sounds
I mean,
amazing.
but if you listen to Magna Carta,
Oh,
love Jay-Z,
Magna
but
Carta,
it
holy
is
shit.
well.
No, I didn't.
So what were your expectations when you signed? Because I think it's Preach freestyle. You say that the contracts have loopholes. So was that coming from personal experience or
Was you speaking for Wayne or?
Nah, I was I was well informed at a young age. I'm one of those knowledgeable dudes. I wasn't one of those young guys that just came in.
That's a fact because
And
I
I
used to
wasn't.
copy off of your paper.
Yeah, but yeah, I was, I just knew certain things, and I wasn't I wasn't desperate. I wasn't, just gonna jump into any situation and nothing like that. I always made sure to understand the business side of things, and we say signed, but we never, right at that time, and still Young Money's still dealing with certain situations and legalities, and you know what I'm saying, as far as paperwork, they getting that situation right. And at that time, I just, to go to that line, I just always understood that contracts, they always, people want what's best for them, especially in this business. You know what I'm saying? They look at us like, plate of food sometimes, and we come into the game kind of desperate. A lot of artists just jump into whatever situation they get, you know what I'm saying? Them white folks behind the curtains, they just sitting pretty, So
a lot of 360 deals out there.
Yeah. So
not only that, but you could get benched easy.
Oh yeah, and
that
you
too.
could get through on the
worse.
shelf a lot. So you know what I'm saying? As far as the Young Money situation, it's not that I signed or anything like that, but I ain't signed no contracts. But I just always knew that, you got to watch yourself. And, things, as time went, things came to the light. And, Wayne and Birdman had their situation, you know what I'm saying? But, it's just all about knowing your business and things like that and knowing what you're getting into. Contracts are dangerous because, that's a legally binding contract. No matter how you feel, you got to, you got to do what you do. So you got to make sure you know what you're signing. That's, I always been like that.
You said in one song that before a CEO comes into your video and starts dancing, they gotta drop some major paper. Was that a shot at somebody out there?
Nah, that's one of my favorite. What are you talking about,
Diddy?
That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite verses. Abracadabra. That's that's just a fun line. That's just so anybody out there understands. Anyone feels like they could just come and push us around and throw us on some kind of weird contract. They gotta pay up.
Now I wanted to wind it back a little bit because you're from DR. What part of DR are you from?
Ooh.
Capital.
Hey.
I was born in.
Gang.
Man, I don't even know exactly. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been there in years, but I just know I was born in Santo Domingo. I came very young. I was 3 years old when I came out here to Providence. But I know my family lived in Alma Rosa for some time.
Okay.
Yeah, but La Capital.
We
That's
got
where I'm
family
from.
out there.
Yeah, a lot of families.
Oh yeah, we
Y'all got family.
But your family too. So you're inducted anyway. But how did the lifestyle in DR shape who Euro is today?
Well, when I was young and I came out here, it was a culture shock. Of course, it was a very different experience. But we come with our traditions and our culture, and my family did a good job in keeping that instilled in us, and that shaped us up because we're a lot more respectful than than a lot of other people, a lot of other cultures, because coming from there, we're respectful people and we're good people. So I always maintained that lifestyle and kept that with me out here, and that helped me a lot because coming into this kind of world, when I was young, I went to 5 different elementary schools.
Wow.
So I was,
and there's 5 grades.
Yeah, that's 5 grades. So every year was I was the new kid. So I always carried myself in a certain way, and I was always respectful as a young kid. I was respectful to adults and things like that, and I was those are things I learned from my culture and my people. I wasn't raised wrong. You know what I'm saying?
That must have been hard, saying that you was a shy kid and going to different schools. Like you had to meet new friends. Like that must have been tough.
That explains why you're like that then.
Yeah. I think so. I think that had something to do with it. I always kept to myself pretty much. We was running around. I went to a bunch of different schools. I was living on the south side, then went to like 3 schools there and moved up to the north side. Went to like a few schools there. So it was all new faces everywhere. And, I don't know, maybe that had an effect on how I grew, my personality and things like that. Maybe I was, kept to myself, you know what I'm saying? But it was, it wasn't no bad experience or nothing like that. Loved my childhood. Yeah.
So how did you hold on to your values and your morals? You're in Miami, which is like the craziest. I was there for like an hour on a stop, and I was like, this is madness. There's naked people everywhere, girls in bikinis, people smoking weed, selling backwoods in the corner. Like, how did you maintain your character?
Stay away from South Beach.
Nah, I mean, I don't want to paint the picture that I'm some kind of angel neither. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to make it look like I'm just,
you
know,
these
goody two shoes. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm a pretty good guy, but you know, I'm not perfect. But we I like to give that up to the people that's close to me, family and friends. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you know, that you can't give that up at all, because you know there's times where I get carried away. You know what I'm saying, in this lifestyle. And you can get lost. You know what I'm saying? It's quick for you to change. It's so easy. It's so easy for you to, you know, get big-headed or get some type of ego, especially in this business, you know, when you got people, you know, showing their love and admiration to you. And you got, you know, all types of girls running around, and, you know, you just run around all these celebs and all that. You know, it's easy to stray away. But, you know, coming from Providence, this is a humble place. You know what I'm saying? It's the smallest town. It's just for the most part, it's a small town. So it keeps me grounded in the sense that, you know, I know where I come from. You know what I'm saying? I can't, you know, I got to keep my character, because, you know, my big homies from the block, they gonna look at me, man, it's a little, you know what I'm saying? They're just gonna be like, man, you can't act like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, my character stays intact in that sense. You know what I'm saying? But you know, don't get me wrong. You know, it's a party. You know what I'm saying? It's the rock star life. Everything you can imagine. It ain't nothing short of that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not no goody perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit up here in front for you guys, but
up and live on Sundays.
Yeah, you know, we outside. We're not gonna act like we're not outside. We having fun. We enjoying. You know what I'm saying? And I always been that way ever since a young kid. You know what I'm saying? Me and my friends, we always like to enjoy ourselves, enjoy our lives. You know what I'm saying? We used to do it all. We always used to wild out, act up, and have fun, but we always maintained our consciousness, and we always been level-headed. We ain't never crossed that line. You know what I'm saying? We ain't never jump into no wild drugs and nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't never play with our nose. You know what I'm saying? So that's, you know, it's just all about the people you have around you, and, you know, staying grounded and, you know, listening to those people. Because it's easy for me to be like, nah, I don't gotta listen to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm not even. But I think it's up to me to, you know, take advice from the people close to you.
Growing up in Prov, you know, a lot of people have the same goals that you have, to get signed and to get out of here, or at least just to meet some of the people that you have met. And there's countless rappers. We can name a whole bunch of them. Were any of those people an influence to you, like local rappers?
At that time, back in the G, I wasn't too familiar with a lot of rappers. I remember, actually, you know what? I remember there was a rapper who one of my homies was in his video back in the day. It was John Hope. He had a music video on TV or something like that. And I remember seeing that, and that affected me. Also, the kid that performed at our school when I was a junior, Jinsu, he came to the school and he performed. And I used to see little things like that. But at that time, I wasn't too familiar with the Providence scene. As far as music, I wasn't too sure that there was much going on. But I used to run into a lot of artists who was older than me. Like, I went to the Met for 9th grade, and there was some artists there, and I used to meet artists on the way, and I always used to keep an eye out and stuff like that. But I never really I wasn't too aware of the Providence scene when everything was happening. I wasn't too hip. But later on, it was like an explosion in Providence as far as music and the music scene that, you know, anybody from Providence should be super proud of. Like, I get right now, it's like, this is like the best time in Providence to come out and do music, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot going on here, and there's a plethora of inspiration going on right now. And, you know, I couldn't be any happier for what's going on. I'm not sure if it was like this before. I'm not sure if it was so much.
I feel like it was, but now with social media,
it's more out there.
It's more out there.
Yeah,
people are more supportive too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll tell you the truth, I was young at that time, so I wasn't really too aware of, the rap scene and things like that. I mean, there was rappers in my neighborhood and things like that, but they wasn't
everybody
really
was
like, everybody was,
Exactly.
but they wasn't really like popping, big that, I really watched. But I was too into Jay and all those other guys. I wasn't even.
Well, you was also removed because you was down in Alabama playing baseball and stuff like that.
That too. I went out there too.
I was asking because the last record on Don't Expect Nothing, More Life, More Love, gives me. We were talking about this. Shad. You remember Young Shad? I don't know if you heard that name.
I was aware of Young Shad.
It gave me
Rest
that
in peace.
vibe.
Yeah.
So it was when I heard that, I had he played it for me. He was like, "Yo,
I got goosebumps right now. No lie.
Wow.
Because I couldn't get past Day Ones on the album because that track I have that on repeat. Like,
wow,
appreciate it. Like that song is tough.
Like,
appreciate it.
We're sitting in the car and I'm like, "Yo, this song right here reminds me." And then after, like, I always do this. I hear a song that reminds me of another song, and I go play that song. And I went.
It feels
right to
like Prov.
That's crazy. That's
you
crazy.
Embody, like, you have all these influence, and we're saying like you sound like Drake, you sound like Jay, but you embody like the Providence culture.
Wow,
and it's amazing
that's
to
probably,
hear that on that level. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
That's probably the best compliment I've ever received on my music, right there.
It's amazing to hear
dope.
that. And then when you just mention Prov all the time, like, that's my
fucking throw Friendship Street in there a couple times.
It just makes it so proud.
You was in a hot area. What experiences did you go through living on Friendship? Because
that's Clowntown too.
I come from the era where Clowntown had beef with the Ville and so forth, like Clowny and that's
Congress.
No, Congress was
because you got Cruda.
Everybody was beefing.
A lot
Comstock over there. Yeah. You got all that over there.
As I was young, I was at my grandmother's house, right down Friendship Street, and I lived with my uncles in the house and all that, and my cousins lived a few houses down. And as a young kid, there was a lot going on out there. There's a lot of people that's not here today that I knew when I was young. That I used to look up to, that I used to hang out with, spend time with. There's still people losing their lives and going to prison and things like that. But when I was young at that time, I was still innocent. You know what I'm saying? I used to play outside. You know what I'm saying? I used to walk to my cousin's house. We used to play around. We used to hang out and all that. And I never, it's like almost like you don't even think of that. Like it wasn't like,
it's like normal.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was so normal at that time. Like things happened, but we didn't. It wasn't like it was just like, oh snap. But you went. Let me go play. I want to go play. But I'm not. My uncles experienced some crazy things, and they told me so much stuff, and I seen a lot of stuff, around that time that. I appreciate those experiences. That shaped me into who I am today, seeing things like that. And also in the neighborhood I moved to, it was around the Academy, Atwells area in the North. And those experiences, it was crazy, the gunshots and people dying. Like, you're a kid, hearing and seeing those things is not supposed to be normalized, but when I was me being so young and hearing about these things and seeing those things, it's like normal. It's not really like something that impacted me in a way where it's like, something outside of the ordinary for me. You know what I'm saying? I was still young, I was still innocent, and me and my friends, we carried on. You know what I'm saying? I always tell the story of somebody jumped off, committed suicide. Somebody committed suicide, and we seen it. Like, we watched it. And I remember one of my friends laughing. Like, we was kids, you know what I'm saying? One of my friends laughed, but as you grow, you think, like, why would, it's like, as a kid, you're around so many wild situations. It's like, it's almost like, you're a kid. Like, you laughing at something like that. Somebody just died. You know what I'm saying? But it's so weird to us that it's, anybody else would be like, yo, that's not normal. You know what I'm saying? That's not supposed to be like that. And you know what I'm saying? The South was crazy. You know what I'm saying? At that time, and it's still, still goes crazy. And the North side too, not to put off the North, but the North goes crazy too, and every side of town. And Providence itself, has this wild situations. And growing up in the city and growing up in the places we all walk through and these things, it's not supposed to feel like that. It's not supposed to feel like normalized. And we're not supposed to lose friends at a young age. That can mess people up. And, we're not supposed to feel normal to it. But for some reason, it's just, it is what it is. That's all I can say. It is what it is.
And so now that you're a part of Young Money, you have kept the same friend. I see you have your ace with you.
Yeah.
How did you ever think of like switching up? Did you ever feel like, nah, I need new friends?
All the time. I feel like that right now. You can't do that. We can't switch. That's just how we was raised. That's how we came up. Me and my homies, we bump heads all the time. We go at it all the time. And ever since we were kids, we scrap. We used to fight, and then the next day we playing football together. You know what I'm saying? So it makes no sense to switch because, you know what I'm saying, this is what makes me. You know what I'm saying? They're as much a part of me as I'm a part of them. Like, this is, your friends make up your life. You know what I'm saying? And, energies are important. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
As long as you got the right energies around you, I see no sense in switching it up. I think energies are important, and you just gotta have people that love you and will ride for you. You know what I'm saying? That's truly for you. And once you find that, I don't think there's no sense in switching that. That's so important, especially in this business. I see a lot of guys, they go and make new friends and they call them their brothers right away. And he's like, "What's up, bro?" Like right away, and they just click up with all these other peoples and things like that. And
that's a fact.
Yeah, that's a dangerous game they play. You know what I'm saying? Because people have ulterior motives out there. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the guys you see I be with have years with me, and we've been through trials and tribulations. We done been through it all. We done been through wars together. We share pain together, and once you that deep in, you can't change that. You can't switch that for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So no matter how much success, anything like that, you can't change that, because that's really the wealth. Having real love and real happiness and real people to share it with. That's true success.
So let's go back to the music. I want to talk about July for a little bit. You have a line in there that had the people going crazy on YouTube. Have you ever read the YouTube comments?
Nah, which line was it?
The YouTube comments, they be going, first of all, people are saying things like, he's next up. Where's more Euro music? Like six months ago.
I appreciate. Tell you the truth, I don't read into much of it because somebody told. I remember it was Gutta. He told me don't read into it very early. He was like, don't read into it because it could go right or left. So and knowing me and my shy self and my
there's a lot of good comments.
Self-consciousness. I try to keep away because I don't know what I'm gonna see. I'd rather just chill back.
So what Christina was saying, I was one of them that was like, yo, I need more Euro music.
That's dope, man.
Because I felt like July to this project
2014
kind of stretched out, and I seen you. I believe it was on Sway in the morning a few times. Am I right?
At Shade 4-5, yeah.
Okay, I know it was at that station. I seen you freestyle a few times.
Oh, it was K Slay.
K Slay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I seen
the one with Corey Guns.
Yeah.
No, that was earlier. That was like 2013, right? 14, early 14. Yeah. That's when you first got signed. That was dope to watch, though.
That's dope. That's dope.
I was telling Christina, yo.
Yeah,
he held his own, and Corey Guns is a monster. Corey Guns is a monster.
Oh yeah, that's.
I was kind of mad they put you next to him.
How's the ciphers? How's the ciphers over there? Young Money?
Why would they do the
ciphers man, listen, man, rapping with Corey Guns is. I don't know too many people that could walk in the room with that guy. That's one of my. That's one of my favorite rappers. I don't know if you. Yeah, that's one of my favorite rappers right there. He's a savage. You know what I'm saying? That day, I learned a lot from him. And I still learn a lot from him. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the best spitters ever in history. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He's insane.
His technicality is crazy.
Yeah.
But so the line is in preach and you say, I rap this what hip hop is. So take me out of your convos and put me where Big and Pac is. When Eminem was obnoxious, when Jiggers had beef with Nas is, whatever the big timers and Weezy F and the squad is.
Christina flowing. You got a little flow in you, Christina.
I was like, I can't
she's
fuck
like,
this up.
She's like, you gotta write something for me. I'll step in that booth right now.
I gotta write you something. We make you the next Cardi or something.
I'm ready.
She's Rob Markman in a female's body.
Yeah. Ooh,
I'm
journalist and rap. All right. Yeah.
Where does that confidence come? Because that's a bold few bars right there.
Yeah. You know, that confidence comes from being from, truthfully, it comes from being from Providence, you know, the smallest state. And at that time, I was on a big stage. So my confidence level was huge because, you know, to get picked up out of here, you know, that took my confidence to a whole new level. And I always prided myself with rap, with my skill. And I always like to push my pen. I look at my peers and things like that, a lot of the new music and things like that, it was changing, especially at that time. A lot of the young guys, this is when I was very young, you know, and, you know, a lot of the young guys wasn't on that same time. A lot of people was changing routes and they was going towards other styles of music. So I really felt like, you know, like, hold on, I take care of I pay attention to my lyrics. So that's where that came from. I was just, you know, I'm not someone who just writes or raps to rap. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here for some kind of facade or trying to be this famous, you know, plastic rapper. I really put substance in, and there's a story to it, and you know, this is real. You know what I'm saying? And that's where that came from. You know, don't put me in those conversations with people who don't carry the same kind of substance and things like that. Like, you know, we come from a different place, and you know, I carry that confidence level with me everywhere and everything I do.
When because you're a fan of the art too, so when you hear rappers that are, well, not rappers but artists that are just like throwing out music and like getting recognition, but the music's not that good, like how does that make you feel? Being that you seem to be, I don't want to say a purist, but you know what I mean. From listening to your music, you cater to the bars. You want to give that swag too, but the bars are more important to you. Yeah.
I love good music, period. And, you know, a lot of these new artists and a lot of the music that comes out, the different subgenres in hip hop, I appreciate it. I love it. You know, I be bumping it all the time. Like, I'm not one of those guys that be feeling some type of way of other artists, you know. Let me not put that out there. I ain't like that at all. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that comes from nothing and is able to feed their family, I'm proud of. I'm happy for. You know what I'm saying? Hats off to you. I'm not one of those guys that's like, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's an artist, you know, that just don't know, that whose music don't even sound good. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he's able to feed his family. More power to you. You know what I'm saying? That's not how I am. But I like the new music, man. The melodies and the different flows. I think music is growing and hip hop is having all these different subgenres. I think it makes it more fun. You know what I'm saying? I don't think hip hop should be one way, because no other genre is just one way. You know what I'm saying? I think we should be able to exist with these other subgenres and these other artists and these different sounds. I think we all should be able to exist, and I love it all. I love good music, period. If it's dope, I like it. You know
so who are you listening to right now?
Oh man, I'm listening. Matter of fact, that I like that Roddy Ricch project that just dropped.
Fire.
That's dope. Fire project. I like it. Yeah, I think it's a dope project. I like the this new cat is just dope boy. He's a Futures artist. He dropped a pretty dope album. I've been bumping that.
That was the name of Cube's son's rap name before he went into acting.
Oh yeah. But you know, I listen to everything. You know what I'm saying? All types of new music, new artists, especially these artists from Providence. Right now, there's a wave going on, man. And
who you tapped into?
Who's your top?
Oh
artist?
Man, of course you got hats off to Flawless. You know what I'm saying? He's doing amazing. you got the young kid D Gomes. He's doing his thing. I got my homie from my block, Tone Tools. He's a good artist from out here. Farrell Jackson. Yeah, shout him out. But there's Vic. There's a bunch of artists out here that I keep an eye on, because right now Providence is on a wave, and people should tune in.
The bus is rolling. I always say.
Yeah,
this is where I talk my shit, because I say that right now Providence is on a scope. People are looking at Providence from outside into Providence, and for those artists not putting enough music or doing enough, you're doing too little.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. So
you're missing out.
Get on your shit. Get on your shit. Start getting things ready, because if the bus comes and you miss out, the bus left, and that's on you.
Yeah, man. When I first came out, I didn't even know there was so, like, these artists. I didn't know there was so much artists. I knew there was talent here, but once these artists started getting their own identity and started building up, and taking it more serious, it was just a beautiful thing. Like, I honestly could say Providence could go up against any other city. Like, we could really take it to any other city, and that's just me being. I've been everywhere. I've been to every city in the United States. I've been around the world. I've been to a lot of places, and I could honestly say this city right here, Providence, could take it to any other city musically, hands down.
And so, where does the name Euro come from?
So, my name Euro is not anything about Europe, but my first name is Euphrates, and it starts with EU. And my last name is Rodriguez. It starts with R-O. I just put the EU and the R-O together. Nothing crazy.
Also, if you try to cut down Euphrates, you got Euro.
True.
Okay.
So let's get into the project, because your single "Talk to Me Crazy" featuring Lil Wayne just hit number 1 million streams, which if we were in 1999 right now, that's a platinum single. Has that sunk in?
Wow, you put it that way, that's pretty dope. That hasn't. Wow, I ain't really look at it that way. Yeah, a lot of people taking to that single and they loving it. I'm happy, man. This is my first project that I put out. Wayne was kind enough to bless me with a verse and a video, and we did that on the fly. It wasn't, I probably did that song like in 20 minutes. It wasn't nothing crazy about it. You
recorded the song in 20 minutes?
Yeah, it was a quick song, and we threw that on the project. I knew people would like it, but I never thought it would do what it did. It's still going. I think it's up to 1,200,000 or something like that now, or 300,000. But man, people are loving it. Every time me and Wayne get on a track, we bring that out of each other. You know what I'm saying? We like to push each other. And he's a harsh dude. He's really my mentor. So he pushes me to that next level every time. So anytime I send him a song and he don't like it, or he really gets at me, and he makes sure that he brings the best out of me. So this is one of those tracks where we was having fun, and it did what it did. It boomed, and the fans came through, and I'm super appreciative and grateful for that.
You think having Lil Wayne on there is a cheat code?
Oh yeah, 100%. The GOAT. Every time I got Wayne, and I'm gonna keep using that cheat code, because that's big bro.
You gonna bring that platinum plaque back to Providence.
Oh man, I ain't think of it that way, but that's dope.
Not only that, but to be really honest, and this is not just because you're here, but it's one of Wayne's best features in a while.
As of recently, recently.
Wow.
So you know what I mean? That's a big deal, because I've heard Wayne on some features, and I was like, "Come on, Wayne! I know you better than that."
Wow!
But on your feature,
he
really went crazy.
That's crazy, man.
That reminded me of old Wayne, like facts. So
wow.
And I think he's tapping in a little bit back to the old Wayne, because I've been hearing a few verses, and I'm like, "Oh, I like where Wayne's going."
You got any insight on his new album coming out?
Oh, yeah.
Any verses? Any verses from you on there?
Just know this, man. That's an incredible project he's cooking up, man. And it's man, I wish I could tell y'all some things, but
Off mic.
yeah, that project is incredible. Wayne, Wayne's always gonna come through with something, and he's in another mode right now. I tell you that. I tell you right now that Wayne is scary. What he got going on. He just got out of that situation with that he was going through, and he has a chip on his shoulder, and he's on another level. He's not normal. And he's coming with something crazy, and I'm excited because he deserves it. You know what I'm saying? And he's been working his ass off, and he's in another zone right now. I haven't seen him like that in a very long time.
So 2020, New Wayne?
Oh man, he's coming heavy. 2020, watch out. that's all I could. I could say.
I want to talk a little bit about Day Ones. What was your thought process getting into this song? Because I feel like in this song, you're really like tapping into who Euro is, and you're showcasing it to the people, but also telling them some of your story within there.
Yeah, man. Day Ones. That's one of the songs I like from the project that I put out. We put that out first. That's one of the joints we put out first, and that song, I really wanted to make a statement. You know what I'm saying, of who I am. You know what I'm saying. It was just very easy. I could have just flexed and flossed on the track, you know what I'm saying? I could have just, stunned it all on the track and talked about nice things or this and that. But I wanted to make it a point, can't switch family for wealth. That's for my Day Ones. It was a track that I just wanted to have fun with, something that we could vibe to with actual meaning, you know what I'm saying? Something that's real. And I kept it thorough on that track, and it came out the way it came out. Shout out to Omega, he's a producer that produced that track, and it was a cool track that I just wanted to make sure I kept a certain essence of telling you about who I am and things like that, while still having fun and playing with the flow and all that, without just talking about what I got and flaunting that in your face. You know what I'm saying? What does that do? You know what I'm saying? I like to make music that people can walk away with something with. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just who I am. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be me if I just flaunt all day.
Yeah. You even, you're talking a lot about love on this album.
Oh, man.
Somebody's heart is broken out there. What's going on, girl?
Nah.
And you dropped the name. Was that a real name or was that fictional?
What name?
You dropped, should I say it? Is anybody's heart gonna be broken when?
Oh, I ain't.
That wasn't a girl from King of Diamonds.
Huh? Christina getting crazy, but it's we got to keep it real in our music, right? So love is a big part of all of us, all of our lives. I've yet to be in love, you know what I'm saying? I've yet to find that significant other, but I've had a lot of experiences and things like that. I'm single, so obviously those experiences ain't...
Just to make it clear.
Yeah. Those experiences ain't turned out to be the happy ever after, but a lot of those experiences with different women, they affected me in a lot of different ways. Being, they happened in a certain time where a lot was going on. There was a lot of changes and things like that. So I saw love from a different perspective, you know what I'm saying? And I experienced a lot of different types of women. So I experienced some pretty crazy things when it comes to that. Yeah, that's where all the different, love references come from. You know what I'm saying? Because I've experienced love in a lot of different ways. So I try to, put that in my music somehow.
Now, is it tougher to trust women because of your status? I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a big deal.
Yeah.
But is it harder for you to meet women with the status that you have?
Yeah, I think it's harder to meet anybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even making friends, like, period. And, it's hard to trust anybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to have ulterior motives and stuff like that based on who you are, especially when you're in a platform like that. You know what I'm saying? And, you're in a certain spotlight, or, your lifestyle is a certain way, or, there's certain opportunities that come with you. So it's pretty, it changes everything. So, I would say that. I would say it's pretty crazy. It's pretty different. It's not the same as, as I was back in high school or something like that. I wasn't, but once
not
things
out here boo loving.
Yeah, you can't be, you
Netflix
can't just
and chill.
Yeah. So it's not the same as it was, but it's not like a sad love story and nothing like that, but it's just different. It's you got to be a lot more aware. You got to, just make sure to protect yourself. You got to be guarded up a little more because people will take advantage of you.
Have any of the girls that rejected you in the past try to get back at you?
Oh man,
let's talk about
that.
I ain't gonna say I was out here getting rejected and nothing like that, and passing and like that. But we all
got that one that was like.
But, nah, I got all my paybacks. I'm good. I got all my paybacks. I'm straight. I went through my list. I crossed out every name. I checked it twice. You know what I'm
saying? You were Santa out there,
huh? Okay. Black book.
Nah, we good. We good. Yeah, we there was a lot of girls.
You're not gonna have any hidden babies out here like your bro.
Oh nah, we not gonna go through that. We gonna keep it. We gonna keep it good and clean and. We're not going to have no, I don't have no kids. It's just, what I'm saying? Yeah, we good. For now, so far, so good. We good.
So what was the first thing you bought? Like, first outrageous thing you bought?
Oh, man. You know what? Tell you the truth, my first big bag, I'm not going to throw no numbers out there, but my first big bag, I just gave it to my mom.
Oh, wow.
I ain't even buy nothing. Yeah.
That's what's up.
I just gave it straight to her. I ain't even like, you know what I'm saying? And that's all I be focusing. A lot of people I get those kind of questions a lot. I'm right now, you know what I'm saying? I'm not into, you know what I'm saying, going off splurging and things like that because I got family and I got friends. You know what I'm saying? That's still in the hood, so it wouldn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? If I just
I hear that in your music a lot. I feel like you have what they call survivor's guilt. Would you say that you feel like some type of way, like you don't want to flex on your boys, or
you know what? I actually recently heard of that term, and I'm learning more about it. I didn't know, but that is a real thing, and I think I might. There might be something in me that feels that way, because it doesn't sit right with me. After high school, I went to DR for a year. And I was in a crazy environment. I was out there by myself. I slept on the floor out there. Some days I didn't eat out there, and there was a lot of kids. I met a lot of friends that I got in Dominican Republic who are living in real poverty. You know what I'm saying? Not American way of poverty, but Dominican poverty. Y'all know it's very different. That's extreme poverty. You know what I'm saying? But me being in that environment, and I still talk to these people, and these people are still my friends, you know what I'm saying? And they see me, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't feel right if I'm like running around just buying miscellaneous things
But you can't take care of everybody.
Yeah. Now, as far as that, I look at it more as I take care of my family. You know what I'm saying? My family, that's all I worry about. Me and my family. I'm not out here trying to just buy my friends things and nothing like that. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that I rather take care of my family, me and mine's, like with necessities instead of things that I want. You know what I'm saying? Like if there's things that my mom's going through, or my pops, or my family, my auntie, or something like that, my sister, my brother, I make sure to take care of the necessities first. It's not about me feeling like I gotta pay for things for people. It's not that. It's just I want to take care of home. That's it. If you can't take care of home, then you out there having fun and living. It's not right. Not to say I don't have fun. Like, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? But it's just I'm more worried about other things right now. I ain't on that time right now at the moment. But don't worry, we gonna have fun. We gonna do the foreigns and all of that. We gonna have fun pretty soon. It's coming.
So what he asked, what was the most expensive?
Like not the most expensive, like the craziest thing that you bought. Like,
that I bought?
Yeah, just like crazy, like something that
like on some famous.
Yeah, shit. It's like on some like famous shit. Like I got the money. Let me just buy this shit real quick.
Let me go back to craziest thing I ever bought. You know what's crazy? It wouldn't be something I got. It's more I got a bag and I got a crazy condo. It's not like a thing, but I got this dope condo like right away.
Just a dope crib.
Man, like anybody who been to the spot in Miami, oh man, it's so crazy, insane. Like that's one of the first things I jumped into right away. Like I ain't buy nothing. I ain't get like a watch or nothing. I ain't go and just get something crazy, but I got this dope ass condo. It was on the water and it was insane. Like that's the first thing I did with that. I got a bag and we used it on that. We got this dope ass condo and we just went crazy in there. Like we just had a bunch of fun. I ain't getting nothing, like it wasn't, but the condo was that was like my first big.
It was the playhouse.
That's where I went into first. Yeah, the first thing I did was like, oh, we got to get a spot. And we got this crazy spot that was, you know what I'm saying, type shit. You only see that on TV. You know what I'm saying? Nice. That was like my first big, vibe.
And so you said Wayne got a chip on his shoulder, but listening to your music, I feel like there's a lot of confliction, a lot of pain, maybe. Yeah, I had the survivor's guilt. I feel like you have a chip on your shoulder. Would you say?
Yeah, for 100%, I do.
Do you think a lot of that has to do with the time frame you dropped music? Because you dropped July in 2014, and then the album came 5 years later.
Yeah, because due to them circumstances, there was a lot of changes going on. Like I said, around that time, I was used to certain things. We had the labels was behind us. I was working in the studio relentlessly. They provided a platform, Universal Cash Money. Don't expect nothing was gonna drop like that, on the platform they provided. But when things changed around then, that, made me have to go find another avenue to drop my project in a different platform. I feel like I got a chip on my shoulder, period, because Wayne brought me here. Wayne brought me into the game. And the platform he put me on is like, the people that came before me, and, I'm from Providence. I can't make this city look bad. And I can't make Wayne look bad. There's a lot of people that's, I can't. It's just not right. So, I carry myself that way. I put that pressure on myself and that chip on my shoulder. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that was the first time a lot of people heard of Providence, Rhode Island. So I had to represent the right way. So that was the chip on my shoulder. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't just carry myself like whatever. You know what I'm saying? I had to make sure I'm in tip-top shape at all times. I had to make sure I kill every single feature. I had to make sure, you know what I'm saying, I execute every single time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I still have a lot more to do. And, we on go at all times. We can't, because that's how we feel. You know what I'm saying? Being on this platform is dope, but it comes with a lot of responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And having Wayne stamp me in the way that he did, you know what I'm saying? It's just only right. That's a legend, and he's the guy that brought Drake and Nicki into the game. You know what I'm saying? So you can't play with that. There's a different kind of pressure that comes with that.
Do you think the pressure and the chip on the shoulder messes with your creative, like with your creativity? Because I feel like you're kind of trying to stick to this one lane, and you talked about like not switching over to like the different sounds and hip hop. Do you think that hinders your success in any way?
No, because let me go back to that. I don't feel like I can't switch over to any lane, because I feel like musically you could be as free as you want. I take that with me into music. I'm not like trying to stick to a certain way of music. I experiment all the time with my music. Yeah, I mean, I have tons of music recorded that I'm trying different things, and
you hear that on Georgia.
Yeah, like it's I like versatility, and I think having that chip on my shoulder and that pressure, I think it pushes me to new levels and things like that. Cause I'm supposed to be afraid to try new things, but I'm not for some reason. I'm all in. Cause you know what I'm saying. I trust my talent. I trust my skill, and I'm not afraid to go into different realms of music. And my new music is gonna speak for itself. You know what I'm saying? My next projects is gonna be y'all see. You know what I'm saying? I'm pushing the envelope as far as creativity goes in all my new music.
Now, being a person from Dominican Republic, there's a big buzz in DR. You know, with the dembow, with the hip hop, people rapping. Will you be doing any features with any Dominican artists?
Yeah, for sure. Somebody just sent me a few tracks I gotta do. I gotta lay some verses from some Dominican artists out there. But yeah, I'm gonna dive into that heavy because number one, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of it, and that's the country I come from.
Have you linked up with any other rappers out?
Yeah, I also I chopped it up with a few people. Get the names. I mean, Lapis was just out here in Providence, and I remember I chopped it up with him. But it was another artist. There's a bunch of artists from Dominican Republic that I'm connected to. That we have mutual friends and things like that, and we speak through our mutual friends, and we got big plans. We got huge plans to do a lot of tracks with these Dominican artists, especially all the ones that's popping. There's a wave going on in DR, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we gonna jump into that ASAP.
Has there been any features that you feel like, dang, let me hit up Wayne and ask for this feature right quick, push the budget?
Man, Jay. Jay-Z.
Right to the top.
He's tight with Jay. They text a lot, so that's coming. I gotta come. I'm manifesting that. That's coming soon. It's gonna happen.
Existence.
It's gonna happen.
You gonna get that Drake feature soon too?
Oh yeah, that's that got it.
We've been waiting for that.
I don't want to. Yeah, it's
like
it gotta happen. It gotta happen at some. It's gonna go down.
Speaking of Drake,
that's my brother, man.
What encounters have you had with Drake? Like, what's one of your best memories with Drake?
Oh man.
Other than the first time you met him.
Oh, man, there's so much. Drake, man. First of all, he's one of my idols, man. So almost every encounter is special, but I would say when he invited me to his house in LA for 3 nights, I just kept going back to his crib. On the third night, Wayne came through too, and he got a studio in his crib in LA. And I remember this was the night they recorded Believe Me. I don't know if you heard that song, Wayne and Drake, Believe Me.
Yeah, Believe
Me. It was a moment that I'll never forget where he, Wayne's on the second verse of that. But Drake actually had another verse for it in his BlackBerry. And I remember I was sitting on the couch and he just tapped me and he was like, man, come listen to this. And he just rapped me a verse that he had for Believe Me. And it was like a moment. It was like a, no ego, no superstar. Like it was just two artists chopping it up. You know what I'm saying? Like two young dudes, just two rappers, just chopping it up. And he was just rapping his verse to me like it was just like he was this young kid trying, just show off what he had. And the verse was insane, by the way. But that I'll never forget that moment because that was a moment that showed me a lot. That showed me, like, you know what I'm saying, Drake, the level that he's in. He's still, you know what I'm saying, excited about things he has, you know what I'm saying? And that's what, being a rapper is about. It's like we create something and then, we like show and tell. We like, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, I can't wait till y'all hear this just to see the looks on y'all faces. You know what I'm saying? So I'll never forget that moment, man. Drake, he was just rapping to me off of his BlackBerry, just me and him. He was just rapping to me his verse from Believe Me that never came out and the world would never hear. By the way, he bodied somebody on that verse too. We ain't gonna. He's a savage. He's a savage.
Has there been any famous people that you've been starstruck by?
Oh yeah, 100%. Jay.
Oh, you got to meet him.
I was so check it out. He was at this barbecue in San Francisco. It's Ben Horowitz and Felicia Horowitz. They two people from Silicon Valley. They created they have a huge firm out there. They two special people out there in San Francisco, and they have this annual barbecue out there. And I remember I saw Jay there. Beyonce was there, her mom, all of them.
Miss Tina.
But I was so starstruck by Jay. I remember I was just like, like I couldn't believe he was like right there. So that was like one of the moments where I really found myself starstruck. And I met a lot of people. I met some of the most famous people in the world, but seeing Jay, that left me kind of starstruck because we grew up on him. He meant so much to us. You know what I'm saying?
So did you get to like speak?
Yeah,
to him?
I
ain't never moved forward.
You just sunk.
Everyone else, but him right there. I'm talking about like he's right there. It's just I was too starstruck.
So
I was
wild.
looking at
like
him.
a
I was
unicorn.
just like, yeah, it was
watching
too wild.
So
I never like jump out there, and I'm not one of those dudes that I don't introduce myself to people.
So you more starstruck of Jay or Beyonce?
Jay. I love Beyonce though, but come on, Jay.
Damn. So how do you feel now with the music out?
Oh man, I feel good. Right now I'm just appreciative, grateful. This has been a fun experience. Doing the whole. We went on a whole promo run. Seeing the responses. It's been people who DM me from all over the world. Some famous people. Just people just reacting to it. That's surreal. It's like, damn, I really tell you guys the truth. I ain't know people even cared about listening to what I had to. I ain't really think anybody wasn't even paying attention for real to what I had going on. Yeah,
from a young kid from Providence.
Yeah, I ain't really think anybody was gonna I thought I was just gonna drop my little tape and just keep it moving. Like it's a little couple of songs, but it's an eye-opening experience, and that just humbles me even more. Words have power. So
who are some of these people telling you? You want to know?
Oh man, there's people from Africa. I just there was this artist. Aside from the normal people that we might know from here, but there's this artist from Africa who just DM'd me we was just chopping it up. His name is Bados, something like that. But he's like a big artist from Africa, and he DM'd me and he was like, man, ever since induction speech, I've been waiting for this.
Wow.
And I'm looking at this guy like, man, this is like a huge artist out there. This is a big artist out there. And he reached out, and seeing that, it was like, damn, you never know who's paying attention, who's watching.
I mean, I heard on an interview that Justin Bieber reached out to you.
Oh, Justin. Yeah, Justin Bieber. I've been locked in with Justin. Justin is, he's shout out to Justin. That's one of the homies from. I met him back in 2014. We even recorded music together. So that's that's my guy. That's my dog, Justin Bieber. I know that sounds kind of funny. It's like,
well, no, because he used to be close to
Wayne and Twist. Yeah. So he's been around. So that's how I met him, through Wayne. Him. They have relationships. So Justin's another humble dude that I met. He's dope.
Yeah, bring him to Prov.
Oh man,
there was rumors that he was gonna move out here.
Yeah, because when he did the,
I don't know who started that.
Everybody was tight when he did the is it an island or is it a road thing?
Yeah,
and everybody was tight out here. Like,
yeah,
that's fucked up. You know, people get worked up pretty easy. I was one of them. I'm not gonna front.
We're not New York. We're not Long Island.
Rhode Island. But yeah, like it's pretty dope to see that one of our own is messing with the people up in those top places.
Yeah.
Also, I heard on your Hot 106 interview that you're close to Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, I know him too. Yeah, he's actually the one who introduced July. When we dropped July, he introduced July.
Let me tell you something, and this is for you to go tell him. We have here in Providence the next MLS or world football king in our own backyard in Providence.
Wow, that's big. That's big to say. That's a big statement. I gotta check that out.
Tell him to go check out Angel Sanchez.
All right, you gotta show me that too. I gotta see that. We gotta set.
He's the next star. He's the next best football player in the world.
That's dope. I'm gonna take your word for it. I gotta check that out. They call it.
They call it football.
Yeah.
They call it football.
Yeah.
Football.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out ASAP. That's dope.
It's just so crazy because I remember, we graduated, parted ways. You did your own thing, and I'm watching the BET Awards. I think this is 2000. Well, probably it had to have been 2013. I think it was the last time Wayne Oh no, I think he was getting honored at the BET. I don't remember what it is, but the whole Young Money team came up on stage. You remember that name?
I'll never forget it.
And I'm like, hold up. I'm like, I called Shayna right away. I was like, yo, I just saw Fratis on TV. She was like, yeah, right. I said, I swear to God. I even took pictures of it, and everybody's like, yo, what the fuck is he? Like, we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know if we were getting signed. We didn't know what was happening. So how has that felt to just be in those places, and your music is out, you got 1 million streams, and it seems like everything is coming together, and you have more music on the way. So that's crazy, even hearing that back. Hearing those reactions is what amazes me even more, because it's like, you know what I'm saying, we went to high school together, and to hear these stories and things like that of my friends seeing me in these places, that's what I react to more, because those experiences, like, I remember watching the BET Awards and seeing all those award shows and things like that. Being on the other side of the lens is like, I never forget how nervous I was. I was so nervous, and everything was so surreal. You too,
yeah. And they actually used "We All Right," my verse on "We All Right" to present. Like, it was like using my face was on it. I remember seeing people in the crowd, like Akon's brother and a few other celebs, like, looking back at me like, oh, that's Euro. And I was just like, oh, that's crazy.
That's me?
Yeah. And man, getting that award and just seeing a BET award in real life, like, I still got it at my mom's. Like, that's all those things is like, that just goes to show you, man. I know it's cliche, but dreaming is real. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially speaking specifically to Providence and the young kids that's out there, and the kids that grew up in the city and see the same things in the city and feel like it's a routine. Feel like in the wintertime they don't get enough sunlight, or there's not enough opportunities out here. I feel like, it can't happen because of this, and that. Dreaming is real. And we at a moment right now where, it's right there. You know what I'm saying? We got the internet. We got so much going on. Like, yo, this could really happen. Like, really. Like, it could really happen. Like, we went to high school together. Like, we was in Adelaide. Like, it used to be all just a dream. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could really go and make your dreams come true. Like, it could really happen for you. You know what I'm saying? If you're consistent enough, if you really obsess yourself with your dream, you know what I'm saying? Like, dog, go for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm living proof. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be the only one just telling you, like, yo, this could really go down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could really be on stage at BT with Lil Wayne winning an award and things like that. You could really, meet Justin Bieber and go do all these cool things and have, it's really a real thing. And, that's all I could do. That's how I express these experiences, like, trying to just tell people, like, man, I want every kid in Providence to experience their dreams, because I know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you guys to really experience that. Like, try it. Like, dream. Go for it. Have a wild dream and just do it.
Word. Yeah. Now, before we close out, I want to put you in the hot seat real quick.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Wayne says, yo, Euro, I'm going to give you 3 slots for 3 people from your hood. Who you taking with you? Artists from Providence.
To start your own label.
To start my own label?
And look, nothing personal, just that Euro would say, okay, I can count on these 3 guys, or 3 females, or
artists.
It doesn't necessarily need to be hip hop. It could be anybody you're paying attention to.
Yeah. 100%. All right. Bet. It's a hot one. It's crazy. I got you.
That's why I gave you 3.
I
didn't want to just say 1.
I gotta go. It wouldn't be right. I gotta go to my neighborhood. I gotta take my little partner, my little dog, my little homie Tone Tools. I gotta take this girl, this singer named Leo.
Oh.
She's dope.
She can sing an asshole.
Yeah, she's dope. Who's that third artist from Providence? I take Pharoah Jackson. That's my little partner. I gotta take, that's my little homie. He gonna be dancing on there. He gonna get his little Uzi Vert on.
Very diverse.
And I might be biased. Those are people I grew up with. Those are my friends. So that's a biased answer. But that's what I'm gonna go with. Yeah.
So when's you doing a tour?
Oh man, yeah, we gonna set up a bunch of shows, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be jumping on somebody else's tour or I'm gonna do my own. But we setting that up now because 2020 there's just a lot coming. We're gonna do a bunch of shows. We lining it up now. We setting it up because 2020 stacked.
Gonna stop at home?
Of course,
of
course.
You gotta
we might,
Fest.
yeah, we might, our PVD Fest. We might have a few things lined up for Providence right away. We might, be doing a few parties and a few other things. Yeah, I gotta come up, turn up back home. I ain't been here turning up in a while, so
no.
I just want to see my friends and peoples and come out, enjoy themselves.
This is my favorite part of the podcast.
Okay.
Where you get to showcase your favorite song or a song that you've just been rocking with. Mm-hmm. It can't be your song though.
It can't be my song?
It can't be your song. It won't be fair.
Bet.
You know what I mean? So it could be anything audible that you're listening to.
Mm-hmm.
Just can't be your own, just to stay out of the biasness. Yeah. Something that you're listening to. It could be, music from Japan. It don't matter. Whatever you're listening to. That's what we're going to showcase. So I pass the aux to somebody, and then you pass it to whoever you want. So I'm going to start today, and I'm going to go with Bams.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Lucky Day Roll Me Some More remix with Wale and Ty.
He's nominated for like 13 Grammys.
That's my track right now. I'll be jamming on that. And I'm going to toss that right over to Christina.
I'm going with Kalani All Me featuring Keisha Cole. I think that's going to be the banger of the summer. That song goes hard.
It's December.
Shit takes time to pop.
I think they put it out too early.
Yeah. No, perfect timing. It's going to play through.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Look at how long Bodak Yellow took to pop.
Bodak Yellow was a slow burn. I get you.
True.
So,
but also, with all the OT Genesis Keisha stuff.
Yeah.
That brings it up a little.
OT Genesis is my guy. He's hilarious, yo.
How do you feel about
Love? Yeah, the remix to that.
Yeah, he put out a video too.
That's my shit.
He just put out another video.
He did?
Another Keisha Cole song.
Oh, man.
How do you feel about rappers doing antics like that? Would you do stuff like that?
It's funny,
it's
man.
Hilarious.
It's funny. I don't know if if I'm faded, I might mess around, but I'm not into gimmicks. But that's just having fun. I think I don't think it's a gimmick. Them being fun. Yeah, I love it because I think that's something I'll do. Just me and my homies just playing around. So I love it, man. I think that's all fun.
So I'll pass the aux to Benz.
Oh, to me, I got to go with Griselda off the WWCD project. I got to go with Chef Dreads. Like that song's so hard. Like, it holds that grittiness from Buffalo.
I've been vibing to Party. The Party Next Door, the News. I would have to say that one.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's my vibe.
That's a vibe, I've been
vibing to. It is a vibe.
A lot of R&B.
R&B's taking
R&B's.
That's like my favorite. I just be bumping R&B all the time.
What's your favorite rap song?
Rap song
right
now, The Box. Roddy Ricch.
Hard.
My
put
guy.
in the box. Yeah, that's my shit. And I can't 5-Year Foreign.
Oh yeah, that's
big drink.
Yo,
I hear that in the club. I'm going crazy every time.
Mm-hmm. Pop Smoke started a trend with that little rhythm in the dance.
It's the New York drill scene. Yeah, New York drill scene. It's going up. It's gonna be a vibe. I think the East Coast gonna make a big push. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta been running it for a while.
Yo, Northeast is about to take this. Yeah, about to take it over again.
This decade we back.
This decade is gonna be Northeast.
We taking it over. We ain't dancing.
Yeah. We back.
Well, the Brooklyn niggas are dancing. It's back to bar. Pop Smoke and them, they're dancing.
This decade is gonna be all East Coast and UK.
Okay, we'll see.
Remember that.
Well, Euro, thank you so much
for coming for having me, man.
Your team is amazing. He has so much. He was so nice. He had all the manners in the world. I'm like, I didn't know industry people were this nice.
Oh, come on, you know I ain't in no industry, man. Christina.
I'm just playing with you, but I'm so proud of you.
I
know you have so much more coming. I think that this is a great. I feel like Don't Expect Nothing is the beginning for you.
Oh, thank you.
And but I know you don't read the YouTube comments, but I'm here to tell you that a lot of people are saying you're the next Jay, you're the next way. Like people are saying like,
wow,
that's
time from now that you're gonna be.
That's crazy.
Like Appreciate it. So we cannot wait to see what you have for us.
Appreciate it, man.
And we're so glad to see that you're doing well.
Yeah.
And come
and
back.
You always have a home here.
Yeah.
And it's good to see you too. I know I just met y'all, but it's good to see you too, Christina, for real. And everything y'all got going on. You know you could hit me up for anything at any time. So whatever, this is dope what y'all got. Yeah, what y'all got going on is super dope.
we need a Wayne interview coming up, you know.
Aim
high, right?
We'll be really sparking up with Wayne.
I did say have big dreams. Dream big. That's
manifesting.
That's right.
There we go.
That's right.
Christina, do you have any announcements?
I do. Actually, we have a mixer coming up January 20. I don't remember what date. Hold on. Pick the 31st. I'm gonna get that together, and we're gonna start shooting out some emails to a select few just for the first one, and then for the second one we'll start getting a little bigger. And I have an event coming up February 27th.
Superstar Sev.
You know me, just trying to do this thing, and so look out for that. The flyer will be going out for both of those very soon. Shout out to Hot NRI who just dropped his second issue. I copped mine, so cop yours. And if you haven't listened to Don't Expect Nothing, Euro, please listen to that. I promise you. You roll a couple L's, drink a little Henny. However you get in your zone, do that. Because the album is very, very good. I'm very proud of you.
Production-wise.
It's beautiful.
It just sounds amazing, too.
Appreciate it.
So... congratulations on that. 1 million streams.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bringing a platinum plaque back to Providence.
Appreciate it.
So you already know what it is. This is your boy Bands alongside Wendell B. Jordan. Yes, he is Michael B. Jordan's cousin. We got Christina and Euro in the house, and it's a wrap, baby. You already know what it is.